my name is B.R.E. Brown, and I review fountain pens. But that's not my day job. People sometimes seem to forget that. It's not my day job, and if I don't respond to comments, it's not because I don't care, but I have a full-time job. I do these videos on top of a full-time job, a family life, keeping a household running, doing all these kinds of things. So I'm sorry. Having said that, there's a reason I bring that up. Once in a while I think it's important to bring that to people's attention. What is my day job? In my day job, I'm a college instructor. My institution, we don't call them professors, we call them instructors. I teach psychology in all kinds of different ways, focusing on brain stuff, but psychology as is needed. Now here's the fun thing. Once in a while, students come up to me and say something along the lines of, "We were watching a YouTube video." And I think, aha, I know where this is going. And then we sometimes talk a little bit about the fact that I also do YouTube things. And this recently happened with a student. And at the end of the course, she thanked me for the course. She said she found it very interesting. And she gave me this fountain pen. And I thought, may as well review it, right? Because not only is that a very kind gesture, it's a pen from a brand I'd never heard of, which is always fascinating, and it's a pretty nice pen. So, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to cover the parts of the pen. I'll tell you, I'll do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Let's get started. Alright, here we go with this pen, the Ooly Splendid. Simple packaging. Came with, I believe, 3 cartridges. There's one here, one in the pen, like in the section, one in the... Oh no, there's another one. I thought I was going to say in the back of the barrel, but these are quite long, so no, it's not. There's the other one. I never heard of this brand. Ooly Splendid pen. Fabriqué en Chine, I think. Yes, made in China. Interesting. Shows you how to use it. Very simple. Let's look at the pen. Just getting rid of the packaging there. The pen. Simple pen. Nice. Knockabout pen. In comparison to a Pilot Parallel, I don't have a Lamy Safari here right now, so this is how it's going to be. There you go. Let's look at the parts of this pen. The finial on top, well, it's a thing. All transparent, which I kind of like. Well, is it translucent? No, I would call this transparent. You can see all the details. It's more than translucent. Ooly on a clip. Plastic clip, which I kind of like the shape of this one. I think it's quite nice. Plastic, always careful because that will snap off, but works well. Barrel, and this is one of the things I like most about this pen. I think it has a very nice shape. I think it looks quite attractive. Gets wider, gets thinner, gets wider again. And very nice flowing lines, which I think work well. Rubber grip section and a steel nib, in this case a fine. Interesting cutout. One would almost get flexy feelings over that, so let's put that to the test. As I said, rubber grip is quite nice. It is solid and it's not slippery, I can't say that. And it posts securely, and it makes for a pretty nice size when posted. Cartridge-Converter fed, just in case you get all excited. Cannot be eyedroppered because there are holes in there to make sure your kid doesn't choke to death on it if should it swallow the barrel. And these are cartridges I have seen in other Chinese pens. They are kind of proprietary. I say kind of because sometimes you can force in a regular standard international if the plastic is a bit sort of malleable and soft on that cartridge. This is very hard and rigid plastic on these cartridges. Very interesting. But again, I've seen that on other Chinese pens as well. And again, that barrel is transparent as well. I really like it. I think it's cool. So, let's see how it writes. I'm going to post it because I prefer this one posted. The fun thing about this pen is that it makes an odd noise as it writes. Which I actually thought was kind of funny. But interesting noise as it makes, it's not scratchy. It's actually a smooth nib. I was pleasantly surprised. This is a fine steel. And the ink is just the black ink cartridges that came with it. Yeah, it's really smooth. Odd. I say odd because I often expect these pens to not be super smooth, but they're actually very nice. May have been a skip there, but that is really fast writing that I don't think anyone would really do. What about the wetness? Well, these are not exactly gushers, so don't expect that. Line variation, not much. Maybe we'll squeeze out a bit, but this is actually a pretty rigid, stiff nib. Reverse writing works well. Very well, in fact, which is nice. That means you can take this fine to an extra fine, and it's smooth. Some nibs get very scratchy upside down, but this one stays very smooth. So that's really cool. I think what we need to do next is see what I like and what I don't like. Let's get started. Alright, what do I like, what do I not like about the Ooly Splendid pen? I think there's quite a couple of things to like. Strangely comfortable, that rubber section works, and the shape of the pen works. It works with the shape of your hand. Then it posts very securely, which adds, I mean, it's all plastic, but it adds just a tiny bit of weight, makes it very nice. I like that. It has a fine nib, and that fine nib is actually a fine. It writes like a fine. Fantastic, because sometimes a fine writes like a broad, or you have weird things. You don't have weird things with this pen, and I really like that. I think the biggest thing you have to realize with a pen like this is it's unpretentious. This is not a collector's piece. This is not something for a fancy desk. This is a user pen. And I think it succeeds very well at being that. I found them online for $5.99. It's kind of hard to go wrong with that. I mean, even if you forget this somewhere, I think it can still be quite fine. I can't really do this, can I? No, not very quickly. You want to buy some jet sticks? Anyway, nice. I think it's quite nice. The one thing I could say about it is, yeah, it's plastic, so this could crack. You have to be a little careful with that. And it does make an interesting noise as you write. I'm trying to figure out what it is, probably the way the nib was ground. It is an actual nib with tipping. Some pens at this price have sort of those folded, like a little bit of fold material. It's an actual tipped pen, so that's really quite nice. For the price, what can you say? It's a writer, and it writes well, and it writes out of the box. Thank heavens for small miracles these days. So, I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. This is an emotional moment, because it's the last pen review I'm recording in 2019. I'm not going to cry, don't worry. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye-bye.